I was tricked into this. It's very, very true. I had long given up on acting. I studied it when I was younger, took classes, and I really loved it. Did a lot of stage work when I was young, but it was just, I found it far too difficult to pursue professionally, so I gave up for a normal 9-to-5 job, which I had for about 7 years. I knew Christopher Bevins, who's an actor, writer, and director for Funimation. He was a good friend of mine. We were fellow comic book nerds together, and we had been very good friends, and I was aware of what he did, but never imposed, because I, as I said, had given up on acting. And out of the blue, one day, 2 years into our friendship, he called and said, hey, I've got this whole show called Samurai 7, and based on one of my all-time favorite movies, Seven Samurai, by Akira Kurosawa. And he said, would you like to, audition? I like your voice, I think I can work with you. And I'm like, oh, how sweet. No. And I actually begged off of it for a couple of weeks because I was terrified of the idea. I just didn't. I was a big anime fan and thought, no, I can't do this. I cannot do this. It's no. No. It's not the path my life was going to take. Clearly I was wrong. Bevins finally, he went from being the nicest guy in the world to being a complete gangster. So like 2 weeks of these calls, it finally became like, if you don't come in here, I'm gonna like burn your house down, kill your family, whatever. And so I showed up. Just to get him off my back, and what I thought was a very, very long, intense 4-hour long audition, where I'm, matching animation and getting the voice right and being directed in pieces by Bevins, and I'm thinking, wow, this is really intense. I've done auditions before. It's like you got 10 minutes and then they get you the hell out of there. And so we did this for 4 hours. It was really exhausting. I was sweating bullets, shaking like a leaf. I step out of the booth when he tells me to, confident that I have sucked and that he will leave me alone now and I can go back to my normal life. And I just offhandedly said, can I ask a question? Like, how do you people get anything done if it takes you 4 hours to audition anybody? He's like, oh, no, the audition was only 10 minutes. We've actually been recording the first 6 episodes. Sign here. You're an actor. You're here next time. And I'm like, you son. So thankfully, and then I had the great good fortune to meet this man who took me aside at a convention very shortly after my career sort of didn't start, and said I was terrified, and because I'd only known him as Sweet Tengu in Speedcrafter, which was my second ever thing, and the first thing he said to me was like, you thought I'd be taller, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of did. But this lovely man took me aside and said something to the effect of like, I hope you do something with this as a living. I'd be very disappointed in a few years if you're not doing this with us. And so I took his advice, and I've been very fortunate to know a lot of really awesome people that have taken the time to help me and to be there for me, and I'm just extraordinarily lucky, and I still am waiting for someone to pinch me.